All right, welcome back to another week here at Table Talk. If you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button, join the community, help other families help themselves. And this week's topic, we're going to be talking about family. It's going to be kind of a lean back, I guess, if you will, about last week's video when we were discussing, um, you know, should we sell the house as is or isn't as is or things like that. And this week it's kind of like a scenario of, unfortunately, um, a grandparent or a parent or maybe even a child, depending on the situation, needs to go into a different living scenario, different living setting, whether it be independent living, whether it be assisted living. Unfortunately, those times happen, those times come, and the situation, or I should say, the conversation is not the easiest to have. Um, I know from fact that when my father passed away, it was only about 2 years later, but you could see a little change in my mother. She would still go out, but you could see a little change, that there was something missing, right? So there was, right? But when she unfortunately had her stroke, I had brought up the fact that, you know, we're more than likely going to have to do something with the home, because she couldn't go back there and stay there alone. And it wasn't a factor of us not wanting to move into her family home. It was the way it was structured. She was paralyzed on one side. We would have had to use a wheelchair or some sort of, device to get her in and out of the house. And the house stood, the main floor was about, I don't know, 8 to 10 feet, so we had 10 to 12 stairs going into the house. It was not going to be a feasible thing to do. Um, Whereas our house, there was one step in, it was much more easier. But we didn't have space in our house. So what we were going to have to wind up doing was sell both houses. And that conversation did not go well. She was not in um, she still had her frame of mind, but obviously, given the situation, she already was agitated and aggravated. And then just bringing that up just made it worse. And so I can sympathize with anybody that needs to have that conversation. If it's not a dire situation that they go into it, like they don't need to move right away, but it's a 6 months to a year out type of process, I would say just present it in a way of saying, hey, have you ever thought about this? Or, hey, so and so's parents, or mother or father went into independent living and they love it. Like, bring it up to them as little droplets of rain, I guess, if you will. And I think the best way is allow the parent and the grandparent to make the decision. Like, if you keep dropping little nuggets and they maybe go into one of these places as a for the day just to visit it, and maybe start getting their brain to think that, you know what, maybe it is the best thing for me to do, or maybe I will have more fun, or it will be better for my overall mental and physical health to be around other people my age with the same kind of uh, desires and the same background and the same music and the same show, like, so in the same, considerations. That, I think, is how you really need to go about it, is allow them to make their own decision. Now, if they can't wait, that's a whole different scenario, and that's going to be even harder, because now they're going to feel like they're not having any say in the matter. They're being forced into it. They're being put in a situation that they don't want to be put in, and it's going to be a lot worse. How you would navigate that, I don't know. I really don't know. Um, there is no easy way to navigate a situation like that. Somebody's going to be mad at somebody. somebody's going to stop talking to somebody. Somebody is going to be mad at them for like ever and ever and ever. And if somebody can live with that thought of like, well, you know what, we as the person, now let's just put it as the child, feels more comfortable and safer that the parent or grandparent is in a scenario or a situation where they're being watched, and not watched as, but like being monitored and being taken care of, and they're living their best life without even realizing they're living their best life. You might be able to sit back and go, well, if they don't talk to me, at least I know that I can sleep at night and they're safe. It's not a situation of, I don't want grandma getting mad at me, but now every day you go to work, you're worried about her doing something in the house. Is she going to fall? Is she going to start a fire? Is she just going to walk out the front door and just get lost? I think I could live with somebody not talking to me, knowing that I can sleep at night, that they're in a better situation. Sounds crazy, but I think I could do that. So those people viewing this content today, this video today, have you gone through something like this? Have you had to have those difficult conversations? Because I would love to know, like, how to help other people, have those crazy conversations. Like I said, letting them make their own decision is probably the easiest way, but unfortunately, sometimes they can't. And those conversations need to be held. So again, if you're watching this, we would all love to have you comment on the scenario and how you made it work, or even, unfortunately, if you had to have that conversation, you didn't have that conversation, what was the outcome of that? Was it good? Was it bad? So anything like that might be able to help a family member be able to say to their loved one, look, I know of a situation where this happened and it didn't end well, or there was a situation similar to us and they went out and they thrived. Little things like that might be enough to make them make their own decision. So once again, if you haven't subscribed to the channel, subscribe to this channel. We'll be putting out videos every week on Fridays, and the topic will change from week to week. So do your best, comment below, and enjoy the rest of your weekend.